we are solving this problem, divide array into arrays with max difference. So we are given an integer array nums of size n, where n is the multiple of 3, and a positive integer k is also given. So we have to divide this array into n by 3 array size of 3, satisfying the following condition. The difference between any two elements we can understand like this. So for example, this is our nums array given to us, which has the size 9. So what we have to do is basically we have to group together the n by 3 different array, right? So having all of them of size 3, right? So we have to basically make them together so that the none of them would have the difference greater than k. Okay, so for example, if this is our array, if we group them like this, so you can see that even this guy 3 minus 1, it is 2 only, 1 minus 1, it is 0 only. Similarly, if we make this group, this also not going beyond this k equal to 2. So even 5 minus 3 is going only up to 2. Similarly here, 7 minus 8 minus 7, 1, 9 minus 8, 1, 9 minus 7, 2. So none of these groups is going beyond this k. So any two of the elements should not having the difference greater than k. So then this is a valid answer. So we have to group together this kind of thing. So basically this is n by 3 size, right? So n by 3 arrays, these are the n by 3 different arrays. You can consider like this, having each array of the size 3. So this is what we have to do. Now here the difference is the main thing, right? So you know that if this array is right now not sorted, right? So if we want to get the what would be the minimum difference with 1, we have to search in this entire array to reach here, that this guy and this guy would be making the minimum difference. Similarly for 3 also, if we want to get which one would make the minimum difference, then we have to come till here. Similarly with 4, we have to find which will give us the minimum difference, then we have to find either 3 or 5, then difference would be 1, right? So basically if we sort this array, then adjacent elements in a sorted array gives the minimum difference, right, for their corresponding values, right? So what I have done is we will be sorting this array. Okay, so if I sort this array, the array would be looking like this: 1 1 3 3 4 5 7 8 9. Now what will happen in this sorted array? What we will do, we will look for a group of the 3 elements starting from very first elements. We will look for the 3 elements of this sorted array, and we'll check that, hey, is very first element and the last element, if that difference, which would be the biggest difference, right? If we group them into the size of 3, the first element of group 3 and the last element of that group of 3 would have the maximum difference because they are sorted. So if we are even passing in that way, that like 3 minus 1 is also not going beyond this k, then we can say that yes, this is a valid group. And similarly we have to check for all the 3 group, right? So if we found this kind of combination, then we can keep on adding into a 2D array. And if by any chance at any place we don't find this combination, let's say instead of 9 this was 10, right? So what would happen when we would reach till this group of 3 in the sorted array? When we reach, we would find 10 minus 7, which is 3, which is greater than k, right? So in that case what would happen, our answer would not be valid and we would have to return a empty 2D array as per the given question. So this is what we have to do. Now the next thing is we are doing sorting. Okay, and if we do the sorting, obviously this will take n log n, right? Any sorting algorithm. But the thing is, in the interviews, by any chance if you face this question, we should try to solve it, because if we go with normal sorting, it will take O of n log n. But if we have certain way that we can sort this element in a better way, like counting sort, then it will take O of n time complexity, because these small differences make a big difference in the interviews. Okay, so we will try to solve this using counting sort. Now if you don't know about the counting sort, I have put the link in the description box. But let's understand how does counting sort work. Is basically in whatever array we want to sort, first of all we have to look for what could be the maximum value in the array, right? So if you look at the question here, go down and you can see here that value of nums I can go from 1 till 10 to the power 5, which is like not very huge value 10 to the power 5. So if the maximum value in the array is not very huge, in that case we should go for the counting sort. So how does counting sort work in O of n? I'll explain here that what we will do is, in this case, like what is the max here? So in this case max is 9, right? So if max is 9, so we will create an array of size 10. Why 10? Because we have to keep track of all the values starting from 1 till 9. Okay, we have to exclude the 0. So what we will do is, we will first of all get the max value in the array. Okay, once we get the max value in the array, then we have to create a frequency array. Frequency array is basically an array which will be keep track of the frequency, that how many times the array how many times an element was repeated. Okay, so we found max. So in O of in one traversal we can find this max, right? Do is we will create a frequency array of size 10. So let me do that. Created an array of size 10 because 9 is the maximum, so 9 plus 1, so 10 size array. Now what we will do is, we will traverse through this array and we will check that who all came. So like in this case, this is 1, right? So at 1 we will increase the frequency by 1. Similarly at 3 we will increase the frequency by 1. At 4 we are increasing by 1. At 8 coming first time, so increasing the frequency by 1. Then 7 we are increasing the frequency by 1. 9 also 1, right? Then 3 we have already 1, so we have to increase it 1 more, so it would become 2 now. So let me make it 2. So frequency of 3 is now become 2. Now at 5 is coming first time, so we are increasing by 1. Now at 1 is also coming again, so we are increasing the frequency of 1 also by 1, so it would total become 2. Now you guys can observe that all who are appeared in this array having the frequency greater than or equal to 1, right? So that means all these index, if you look at this index, this index, this index, these are the indexes which has appeared here. So based upon these index values, whoever is having greater than or 1 value, that means they are appeared. So if we, so guys, now you can observe that our answer array would be of size n by 3 and 3. This is a 2D array, right? So we have to find these values from this frequency array itself. So how do we do that is like we have to pick all those values which has the frequency greater than or equal to 1, because those are the values which appeared. So let's say we have two variables. We will keep two variables, j equal to 0, because we need three elements per group, right? So j equal to 0 and row equal to, initially we are starting with the 0 only. Okay, now what will happen is, we are starting from this I. Okay, this is index I, so we are starting from I equal to 0. We will check in this frequency array that, hey, is there some value? No, there is not at all any value. So we will keep on going. Now when we are first time getting some values, let's say we are coming to this index, so I came 2 times, that means we will increase our j 2 times, so j would become 1 and we will add 1 value into this group, that is 1, right? Now we will decrease this frequency by 1 because we have taken 1, right? So we will decrease by frequency by 1 till the time this frequency doesn't become 0, because there could be duplicates that so now we will still look at here only, we will not traverse that, oh hey, the frequency is still greater than 0, yes, so that means we will take another time this index I, right? So we have taken this again. Now our j would become 2, we are increasing j every time, right? Now we will come so when we will add another one, now frequency would be decreased by 1, so frequency would finally become 0. Now once the frequency becomes 0, we have to look for the another value. So we are coming to this index that, hey, is there value? No, it's null, it's 0 value, that means 2 is itself not at all there. Now we'll coming here, so 3, is there some frequency? 2, yeah, frequency is 2, that means we can take 1 3 here, right? And we will decrease this frequency by 1, so let me make it 1. Okay, now what will happen, our j also would increase by 1, and so j become 3. Now as soon as j becomes 3, it gives a guarantee that, okay, we have got at least one array of 3 size. Now every time we have to look, once we got a 3 size array, we have to check the last element and the first element difference. So 3 minus 1, it is still not greater than equal to it's not greater than 2, right? Equal to is fine. That means this is a legit value or legit array we have found. Now what we will do, once j becomes 3, that means we found the 3 set. So j again we will set it 0, and row b will increase by 1 because b got 1 row. Okay, this would be row. Now another would be another row. So we can write another group of 3. So this would be our row 0. Now we have to look for the row equal to 1. So row increased by 1 and j also reset to 0. Now we will come here. That yeah, the frequency of 3 is still not 0. That means we can pick one more 3 from here, right? So we will add this guy into 3 into this group. Now we will decrease this frequency by 1. So this also became null. Null means you can consider 0, right? So this also becomes 0. Now we'll go to this index. That 4 came how many times? It came 1. So let's say we are adding this 4 here. Now we have to decrease this frequency by 1. So this guy would become 0. So as soon as it becomes 0, that means we have to go for next value. Now 5. So now in this case 0 and yeah, so j also become 2, right? It increased for 3 and 4. Now we are at 5. So this came one time. So we will add this guy also, and its frequency also becomes 0. And by that time j becomes 3, right? So that means we found another group. Now let's look for the legitimate, whether it is a legit group or not. So 5 minus 3, this is the biggest difference, right? So 5 minus 3 is 2 only. So that means it's a legit group. Okay, similarly then row would become 2 and j would be set for again 0. So similar way we will find. So finally we would have this would be our another row, and this would be adding all these 3 values, last one, right? 7, 8 and 9. So when we come to the 6, it is null, so 6 would not come at all, but 7, 8, 9 would be added in the similar way, right? And every time we will be checking for the j value, whether it became 3 or not, and then we would be checking the difference. So in this way we have found this as our answer array. But at any place if we found that the difference is going beyond this limit, let's say if this was 10, in that case what will happen? The difference, this would be 3 group we can find, 3 group, this would be 10, but 10 minus 7 would be greater than k. So in that case we have to return the null array. So this is the solution we are doing in O of n. Let me show you my corresponding code. So see here what we are doing. First of all, we are checking whether if this n is equal to a multiple of 3 or not. Now see here what I am doing is I am checking the maximum. First of all, I am checking the maximum in this nums array, right? We got first the maximum, like in this case we got max equal to 9. Then 9 plus 1, we created this frequency array. Let's say we are calling it frequency array, right? So once we got the maximum value, now I have created, this is our answer 2D array of ny3 and 3 size, and this is my frequency array of max plus 1, right? Why I'm doing max plus 1? Because we are interested to start from 1. Okay, so now see here, we are traversing through and we are increasing the frequency of every index who came how many times. Okay, now see here we have created this row variable and j variable, and now we are traversing through this value, because the index could be up to max only, right? So like here we created, so index is going up to max was 9, right? So that is why we have used in this for loop I equal to 1 to I less than or equal to max. Now see here, while frequency is greater than 0, that means, so here we have put a check that if j become 3, that means we have to reset it. We were resetting every time here. We started with 0, 1, 3, right? And then we reset it again and we increase the row, right? So same way we are doing here. Once j equal to 3, then reset j equal to 0, because we are starting another group of 3, and increase the row, because row would be increased every time. Now in the while loop, till the time j is greater than 0, okay, if j is greater than 0, that means we are either having 1 or 2 or 3. At that time we are checking this difference. So answer row 0 is the first value in this group, right? This is the first value. So this would be the smallest value, and this and we are checking the
difference of all of them with this smallest value, so that we will check that whether it is going beyond k or not. So that is why we are doing math.avs of answer row 0 minus I. Okay, if it is greater than k, that means it's a violation, we are immediately returning the null value. Otherwise it is legit. Okay, if we are not finding this condition, that means we are in the having legit value. So we are doing answer row j equal to whatever index we are getting. Okay, and frequency we are decreasing every time. Same way we were decreasing, like 3 comes 2 times, so we decrease first for 1 and then for 0, right? So same way we are doing, and we are increasing j plus plus. As soon as we found j equal to 3, we found a group, so we increase the row and reset the j. So same way we'll keep on doing it, and finally we would be returning this answer. So good thing in this approach is we could have simply done it with the arrays dot sort, but that would take n log n. Here we are doing in O of n. So let me execute this code. So I have already submitted, but for the sake of video I am again submitting in front of you guys. So it is 98.43% faster. So thank you for watching this video, and if you guys have any concern, please make a comment over there. Thank you.